January this year saw the return of the Mini to top-line competition and its most famous stamping ground, the Monte Carlo Rally. Once again, Paddy Hopkirk was at the helm, this time with veteran co-driver Ron Krellin. What was the difference 30 years on?
Well, I wasn't breathalyzed on the last one. Did you hear? We were all breathalyzed. The French police stopped us at this junction in the middle of the night, breathalyzed, and of course they handed this thing to Ron, and he said, "Oh, that's very nice," and started to blow it up, and the guy got mad when he saw there was no steering wheel in front of Ron, so he gave me one. And it was okay, I'm pleased to say, but they breathalyzed everybody. Isn't that most unusual?
You're the devil in disguise. But the breathalyzer had hardly been heard of when Paddy and his mates hit the world headlines by winning the most famous rally of them all, the Monte, 3 times. With your kisses, you cheated and you schemed. Today's rally cars are 3 times more powerful than even the latest Mini Cooper with its 100 horsepower.
It'll be interesting to see whether we're going to be tonight in 125th place or 85th place. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see that, how we actually perform with the old car in a new event.
You're looking forward to it?
Yes, I am. I'm anxious. I don't want to get in too many people's ways.
He certainly wouldn't get in the way of world champion Juha Kankkunen at the head of the field. Or Carlos Sainz, hoping to impress his new team. Last year's winner, Didier Auriol, the established star of this event, was hoping to make it 3 in a row. Ford have narrowly missed winning the Monte for the last 2 years. Nicky Biasion led their 2-car team. But the outsiders were showing the establishment how to do it. Mitsubishi's Armin Schwartz led after 2 stages, threading his way through the crowds. Colin McRae held 2nd spot, but both he and Armin were to fall victim to Gallic hijinks when the spectators stupidly decided to spice things up a bit. What happened, Colin?
Spectators put snow all over the road. No chance. Right over the edge of the hill.
How much time have you lost?
About 30 minutes.
The onlookers here make a day of it. They all hung on to await the arrival of Paddy's splendid Mini. Astonishingly, he was up in the top 50, and there were no Bolshe spectators for him. They were cheering him on all the way.
Beautiful, and flat left, 300.
With a low-power car, Paddy was hoping for snow. It would be a great leveller, but so far he was disappointed. Although the Mini only required routine service, the variable conditions were giving him something to think about.
It's very good. It's a real road race. It's good stuff, Tony. It's up and down, very nice, but quite hairy when you hit ice on sort of racing tires. Hadn't done that before. Not nice feeling at all. But only disgraced by 1 car overtaking us, so we didn't have to pull into the laybys as we thought we would have. So.
At the head of the field, things looked to be going Didier Auriol's way again. He'd grabbed the lead, but he didn't quite get everything right. This excursion saw him out of the event. A chance for fellow Frenchman Francois Delacour to inherit top spot.
Right minus.
Meanwhile, Messrs Hopkirk and Krellin were treading carefully.
They're all ice. Well done. Medium left.
Well, we're still in one piece and we're still on the road.
So that's the last one today. Are you pleased about that?
Yes, very pleased.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to my bed.
There's nothing like the Monte Carlo rally for bringing out the crowds, even this high up in the mountains. Now this is the 2nd day of the special stages, and the cars are going south towards Gap, and the Mini is still among them. But there's still 3/4 of the event to go. Delacour was now firmly in command, and on the famous Chartreuse stage, he averaged an amazing 70 miles an hour. From 121st position after his incident, McRae was charging back, aiming for a top 10 place. He just made it. For Paddy, it was a matter of deciding which road to take.
And flat left, 100. Oh! Hell. Didn't have that.
Sorry about that.
Never right. And flat left.
Sorry.
No, never saw it.
The scale of servicing has changed somewhat since those far-off days in the 60s.
Well, I think, one of the main differences is that today you've got so many enormous service vans. In those days, the service areas were much less cluttered with vehicles. I mean, here it's quite difficult to find space at many of the service points. And of course, we didn't have two-way radios either, so each service point was having to be geared up for any eventuality. It was very rare that you got very much advance warning of any problem.
The Monte Carlo is a long event, almost too long for some. It covers 2,000 miles and takes its toll on the cars. Monsieur Thermonier, co-driver in this freewheel Renault Clio, looks as though he's putting in some sidecar racing practice. Paddy also had a bad start to the day.
Oh, right minus. Oh, oh.
Come on, push us. Push us, please. Push, push, push.
Yeah, you've got to have something with a bit of grip through the snow.
Those are absolutely hopeless.
What would have been the best then?
I think snow tires.
You reckon? Yeah.
The guys with the four-wheel drive would have been all right, you say.
Oh, yeah.
In modern rally cars, of course, there's no time for social chit-chat or appreciating the stages.
Very fast left and long medium right.
Medium.
Long medium.
Thank you, right, lovely.
Good.
Lovely, lovely.
50, flat right.
This is Monte Carlo with all its many attractions, and anyone with any sense is working, shopping or sightseeing, but not the rally crews. In the topsy-turvy world of rallying, they're all in bed, but they'll get turfed out later when they compete in the unique all-night mountain section.
It's definitely the highlight of the rally. Nobody who's been there could forget it. Everybody goes mad, not least on the famous Col de Turini. Carlos Sainz was the fastest, following an astute tyre choice. Delacour was a full 36 seconds slower, but it didn't stop him driving on to win the event. Paddy delighted the crowd as he piloted the Mini over the famous stage, even with snowbanks higher than the car. For Paddy and Ron, the witching hour was to be significant. Trouble was afoot.
What's the problem, Paddy?
Oh, we bust the fan belt. The fan belt broke. So we lost, we couldn't carry on. The engine would have boiled and lost our electrics. And we've just fitted a spare fan belt, but it's the wrong size. So that hasn't helped.
And that little problem was the end of their gallant effort, and all they could do was limp home. But for another team, it was celebrations all round. Delacour's victory was the first time a Ford had won the Monte Carlo Rally since 1953.
Next week, test driving the new Vauxhall Omega. Goffey's at an enormous gathering of historic racing cars. And I'm in the desert with the locals and their off-roaders.
And Jeremy Clarkson and Tiff Niddell test drive some of the world's